Building a gaming PC in 2026 is really hard, especially with the prices of parts being up right now. But besides that, I was able to put together a $1,100 gaming PC that targets everything at 1440p. Now, whether you're trying to target single player games or you're trying to get the most FPS in esports titles, this PC will be able to handle it. So of course, like always, I will leave links to everything in the description below, and let's just get right into it. Okay, so let's start with the CPU. The one I have here is the Ryzen 5 5600, which you can get for $139. This is honestly probably one of my favorite CPUs that I've used in a ton of builds, and that is for good reason. It has 6 cores, 12 threads, and honestly, it can be paired with a lot of different systems. For our build, we're targeting 1440p, so we have it with a much more powerful GPU, but even if you wanted to target 1080p, this CPU fits that as well. And honestly, one of the biggest benefits right now is that it's on the AM4 platform, which means that you get cheaper RAM and also cheaper boards. But yeah, at $139, you get a ton of value here. It also comes with a CPU cooler that's actually pretty decent, so you don't have to spend money there. And as I mentioned earlier, we are targeting 1440p, and I really think this is a great chip to pair with the rest of the system. But of course, the CPU needs a motherboard to go in, so the one that we have here is the ASUS Prime B550MA Wi-Fi Mark II, and you can get that for around $99. Now, this board is one of the best budget boards you can get on the AM4 platform. It has tons of headers, good features, and overall just fits the system really well. But as I mentioned earlier, going on the AM4 platform is really great. It still is very modern. You can get really good CPUs, but you do save money compared to AM5. But yeah, as I mentioned, this board has a decent amount of fan headers, it has all the features that we need for a full gaming PC, and overall, I think it's a really solid choice. Now, if you do want an alternative, there are boards from MSI that are pretty good, and also from Gigabyte, which I think is still going for $70. So I will link a couple of options down below so you can take a look at all of them. But now let's move on to the most expensive part. We have RAM. Now, the one that I have here is the T-Force Vulcan Z 16GB kit at 3200 MHz. And like all my build videos, I always recommend everyone to buy RAM on the used market. So I would recommend using sites like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, whatever's in your local area, even eBay, and try to get a kit for around $60. Now, you're gonna try to target a similar kit like this, so 16GB at 3000 to 3600 MHz speeds, and that will be a perfect fit with the Ryzen CPU that we have in this build. But since we are on that AM4 platform, we're able to use DDR4 RAM, which of course is still expensive as well, but compared to DDR5, it's a lot more reasonable. But yeah, I think for the rest of the year, honestly, I feel like this is going to be the strat, because really there aren't that many alternatives. Like, you can technically buy new RAM, but this kit is going for like $140, which I don't really think is worth. But yeah, just try to see what's in your local market, try to, haggle, maybe get it for a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I think this is the best fit that we have. And now for another part that most people haven't noticed has gone up as well is actually SSDs. Now, the one that I'm using is the T-Force Z44 A7Q 1TB Gen 4 drive, but the one I have linked below is the Patriot P410 1TB Gen 4, which is going for $140. So a couple months ago, 1TB drives were going for like $50 to $60 cheaper, but now it's going for around $140 for the cheapest one, which is actually insane. Like, could you imagine having a 500GB drive in a $1,000 plus build? That would just be absolutely insane. But yeah, 1TB is going to be enough for a couple games, and the speeds are definitely solid as well, so I think this is just the best choice we got. But yeah, building a gaming PC in 2026 is definitely not fun, especially when we get to the graphics card, but we'll get to that when we get there. But yeah, let's talk about this case now. This is the Corsair 3200D RS ARGB, and you can get this for $90. So Corsair actually did send out this case for me to review, but they didn't send me any money, and they're not going to see this video before it's posted. So yeah, everything I'm going to talk about is going to be my honest thoughts, and honestly, this is a pretty solid case. It does come with 3 ARGB fans in the front, which is really nice to see. You can also place a fan down here, which will direct airflow to your GPU, so you can really just get a lot more air going through the system. And of course, you have the usual fan cutout, so you can fit an AIO on the top, and you can also add another ARGB fan to the back. But overall, if you're trying to get really good airflow, this case is actually a really solid choice. But yeah, building in this case was super simple. There's a ton of room to work with. The only things that I really wish that we saw is that it actually came with 2 more fans. Like, even one down here, you do actually have to add your own. Even if this fan wasn't RGB, I honestly think that would be okay, but seeing another ARGB fan in the back would have been nice to see as well. But overall, for $90, I actually really like the look of this, and if you're trying to check this out for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below. But yeah, yeah, thanks again for Corsair for sending this out. I really do think it fits this build a lot. Now for the power supply, we have the MSI Mag A750GL, which you can get for $96. This is an 80+ gold rated power supply, and with the parts that we're going to be pairing it with, it's going to be more than enough. For the CPU and GPU and really just all of the parts in this build, 750 watts is going to be more than enough. And one of the biggest benefits as well is that it's actually a modular power supply, so you don't have to have all of the wires plugged in. And yeah, it really just makes cable management a lot easier. I'm someone that uses a lot of non-modular power supplies in a ton of my builds, so using a modular power supply just makes everything a lot easier. But overall for the system, I think it's a perfect fit. And now for the fun parts, we have the GPU. Now the one that I have is the ASUS RX 9060 XT 16GB, but the one that I have linked below is the one from Sapphire, as it's going for a little bit cheaper at $450. Now the 9060 XT 16GB is honestly one of the best 1440B GPUs you can get right now. And even though GPU prices are up right now, the 9060 XT, even at $450, is still pretty decent value, especially since we're going to be playing a wide variety of games that are some that are going to be more GPU intensive and also esports titles. I really think this is the best option that we have. When you take a look at the competitors like Intel and Nvidia, there really isn't a better graphics card at this price range. And of course, the biggest benefit of this card is that it has 16GB of VRAM, so as more games are starting to take more VRAM, that is going to be really nice. But yeah, overall with the rest of the parts, I think this is the best choice we have. Yeah guys, with that is the entire PC build, and the total for everything came out to $1,074, which is under budget, which I think is really good. But yeah, I'm really happy with this build, especially with how bad the market is. Honestly, I think we did pretty good. So like always, I'm going to show you guys some benchmarks so you guys can see how this PC performs. But with that, guys, that is the 1440p $1,100 gaming PC. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Links to everything will be in the description below, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.